Hello, this is Greg Dixon here, your Chief Enabler and Kartra Whisperer. Today, I'm going to talk to you about broadcasts and newsletters. So the first question is, what is in your inbox? I think if you take a look at the kinds of emails that you receive, you get a good idea about what you're interested in and what kind of things that you might want to send to others. So the first thing, if you looked in my inbox, I get a lot of email from network marketers, people like Dan Kennedy, Russell Brunson, Dave D, Kim Walsh Phillips, Jeff Walker. I also get pieces of interest, like I'm interested in hydrogen power. So I get the hydrogen newsletter. I get some things from some people might be embarrassed by it, but I get things for astrology and tarot readings, that kind of thing, a bit of everything. And I get a bunch of email from other lists, other things I've subscribed to, notices about products, notices about all sorts of things. And if you look at your own list, it'll give you an idea about what kind of things you like to receive. And if you're the kind of person who goes through and you don't like a cluttered inbox and you delete everything you get, then this whole presentation is probably not for you, because it's something that it's not of your interest, and so there's no point in you sending out things to people in your tribe who are interested. So what I'm going to talk about today is it has two purposes. One, this is part of my series on building your business, building your online business, and also I have a client in Australia who is putting out a newsletter and wanted to know how to do it in Kartra. So today's presentation is going to meet both things. So I'm gonna, let's see here, it'll pop up. Okay, I'll get rid of this banner here because the banner is kind of in the way. And I'll make this full screen and we'll go here. So in Kartra, you notice on the left there's the main Kartra section. You got my products, my communications, my pages. There's about 12 different areas here, and the broadcasts fall under the category of communications and then broadcasts. So here we are. Those are some of the recent ones, and I'm just going to create a brand new one here. So we're So we had a service and a broadcast called Tell Your Story Productions that we stopped for a while. We went off and did other things, had other projects, but we were bringing it back. This Bonnie McDonald Dixon and Jerry Smith and I, and we're doing this here. Let's see if I even have a list for this. Tell Your Story Productions. There we go. So we're starting the whole thing again. So I'm going to broadcast to our list, just announcing that we're back. This, by the way, this could be, let's say you wanted to do a newsletter, you could say September 2022. You have a limited number of characters. If you wanted to do a weekly newsletter, you could put the week, and then in which case here for your own internal thing, we did abbreviate to TYS and go from there. But we're right now, I'm just going to, what I'm going to compose here will be a email just to announce to people that we're back in business, that Tell Your Story Productions is back in business. And here it's asking how you're going to send it. You can send it by text message or email. I'm just going to use my regular email address. I do have a tellyourstory.productions email, but I'm just going to put it in here for the sake of this demonstration. And there we go. That's the communication. So what this is saying is Kartra is going to mail this broadcast. It's possible to hook up your own personal email system to send it, but we're going to go through Kartra. And here is who's going to receive this. So I'm going to actually, while we're here, there's all sorts of things. Everybody in your database. That's probably nothing you should ever consider doing. And you can put everybody but in a list has a certain tag, does not have a tag, all sorts of things you can select by, has visited a page. But almost always, especially if it's a newsletter, you're going to be subscribed to a list. And we have a list here for, by some coincidence, we have a list called Tell Your Story Productions. I'm going to add it. This one here, this notice, GDPR and CCPA. If you want to have the maximum deliverability, you include that. If people on your list or not. Right now, the way it is, let's see if there are any. It won't make any difference. Almost everybody on that we're going to send to have joined a list voluntarily. You could select more than one list. So I'm going to choose another list here, and I'm going to use the Storyban TV. And I guess I will make a bit of maybe a consideration here is the Tell Your Story Productions list. People pressed the button, said they wanted to subscribe to the Tell Your Story Productions mailing list. The Storyban TV includes people who may have made appointments with Bonnie or appointments with myself or were guests on Storyban TV. I'm just going to say that they're close enough related that people are not going to get offended. And I think, this is the thing with mailing is if you send out things that are respectful, there are always going to be people who will opt out because they don't want to receive email from anybody, let alone you. And then there are others who are interested to know what you're doing. So here we got the email, and it defaults to the basic, which is a plain text email. You can format things. You can put text in here. You can boldface it. It's an HTML formatted email. It's not super plain. And you could insert a graphic here. And you can insert a little emoji too, and a divider. So a few things. You can have some basic formatting here, which we'll do. And then the advanced, and I'm going to use the advanced today. For one, the advanced will allow you to embed videos, and it'll also allow you to save it as a template for future use. And you'll see what I mean shortly here. So here, I'm just going to have a real simple Tell Your Story Productions returned. That's the main subject line. Again, if this was going to be a regular email, you might have September 2022 edition, and our little tagline for Tell Your Story Productions is personal, family, I'm just going to say preserve your legacy. So the second line here is a description, and it depends on the email client at the other end. Gmail will show it. Others will show this in various ways. So it's always useful to put something in there. The next thing here is the body of your email. And there's some backgrounds that you can choose, the white background, but I'm just going to do something fairly basic. Leave the designs in here. You have options here with the advanced. There's some full templates, and if you want, you can drag in almost anything to come with to make it as formatted as you want, as simple as you want. So so that if you want to, like, for example, this is a good format. This kind of thing is good if you're doing a monthly email or weekly email. Then you just put it in here. And the way Kartra works is each one of these things is a block, and we can delete all of this, because I'm just gonna go through and build something from scratch. Would have been nice if we could just select it all to delete, but there we go. Here we are. We're almost there. And this little. So my templates are things that I might have done myself. So that's the workshop, various things. So we don't have a template right now yet for Tell Your Story Productions. We haven't actually mailed anything recently, so there's nothing there. And then the next step is to build it up. And headlines has various formatted headlines. Then you've got text and content. What's in the content? Oh, various. These can be fancy too. Okay. So I'm not really going to do much of that right now. I'm gonna put an image in the top here. And I'll just ask to upload an image. Okay, so there's an image at the top. Probably play with the size a little bit. I'm just going to leave it at the default here. And then the text, I'm just going to put a simple block of text in here. And it defaults to the usual Latin. And I'm going to just sort of say, hello, and up at the top here, there's some design variables. These are things: first name, last name. So what it's like mail merge, and you can just paste in these little placeholders, and when you mail it to your list, it'll say hello John, hello Bethany, hello whoever it is, and it personalizes the email for you. So I'm just going to say, I know. Okay. Let's see here. There are a few font options here. It sticks to the basic um, fonts families that are common in every browser, every email system, and but you can do things like you can boldface things, and then I'm just going to show you how to embed a video here. Uh, uh, family photos. Okay, so again, I'm going to change that to make sure it's all Georgia. A little bit fussy here. There we go. So that's a little introduction, and then what I'm going to do here is under design templates, I'm going to drop in the video. So you could put a link into a video somewhere. This video happens to be on LinkedIn and also YouTube and a few other places. But I also loaded it into Kartra, and we can embed it right in the email here. It's going to play it in a player, but at least it looks like it's embedded here. There we go. Tell your story productions. Select the video, and there's our little introduction. And it looks like I managed not to capture. Should be a badge in here. Anyway, that's a minor detail. We'll sort that out before we broadcast it here, and then here was a new section, and I'm going to drag in change that to Georgia right away. New services. And I'm going to put a button in. One of the things with this is we'll do here, we'll say earn more. And I'm going to change it to our kind of this kind of dark red is our sort of theme color, and just copy in the website address. Okay, that's good. And then I'm just going to put a little signature in here. Again, this could be anything you want. It could be as simple or as complex. We went into the wrong spot, so I'm going to drop it down. There, okay. And I'm going to say, okay. Send all your free productions. And I'm going to put the website address on here. I just going to simplify the way it looks and then add this as a link. And all seems to be good. Okay. So I think that's more or less what we want here. I'm going to have to go back and change the badge for this image here. We have one that shows the three of us talking instead of this, but that's a minor thing. So right now, as always, you can send yourself a sample email here. So I'm going to send that, and I'm just going to continue through. Just going to assuming that everything is good. The next step is, do you want to add an automation? There are all sorts of fancy things you can do here, but we're not going to do anything. And then here you come through there's options. You can send it right now, you can schedule for later, and you can pick a date and a time, or you can save as a draft. So let's say you wanted to send out something once a week. You could actually put them all together on one day. You got one day and you put out each broadcast for the week and schedule it. For example, if I'm going to send this one, and let's say I'll schedule this one to go out in 2 days, and we'll set it to go at 8 a.m. in the morning. I use the 24-hour clock. This is specific time, so you can set a time. And or if you're not sure, like we are right now, we're going to save it as a draft. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to stop sharing. So that is the basic process of setting an email up. And again, you can it's possible with a team, like I could come and set up a draft, and then have another teammate come and add some things and edit it. If you want to have somebody edit, I often need an editor. And just make sure it's correct. In the little option to send out a test message, I could send it out to everybody on the team and then wait till I get the approval back on it. All sorts of things. Kartra is very powerful. There are lots of formatting options for it and lots of scheduling options. And how often you send out email is up to you, really. From a marketing point of view, if you had something interesting to say, I suggest sending something out every day. For example, Dave D, for the longest time, he sent out one email a day, and the format was a personal story, and then a business lesson from the personal story, and then an invitation to join his weekly mastermind or some of the other things. He's now got a thing called Daily Espresso, which is a bit of more of a newsletter format. He sends out his personal ones fairly regularly, but his weekly regular Daily Espresso one goes out as well. And I'm going to, in the comments, when this is broadcast, I will put a link in for you to sign up for those newsletters, because it's worthwhile just to see what they do. And there's also just almost always superb and fun business advice. So that's all I'm going to show you for today. And again, Kartra supports this very well. Other systems, any system that has an email mailing system where you can configure emails to send out either immediately or on a schedule. You can set up the newsletter format, or the daily email format, or the weekly email, or some email you want to do once a month. All I can say is the more frequently you do it, the more effective it would be. So thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you soon.